I said, baby, you drive me crazy, girl. All right, buckle up. This one goes, why are so many grown men still living with their parents? I don't know.
I don't think we've ever had a generation where I've seen so many grown men staying with their parents. I'm not talking about just living with their mamas, but I live on a block here in Detroit, and it's this guy that's grown as can be that live with his parents, and it's way different than when it was when I was a kid, man. When I was like 17, 18, I was ready to get out. And when I say living with their parents,
Oh, I was ready to get out, get down, get jumping, girl. Woo! I know what he's saying. Anyways,
a lot of them don't even have cars. You got grown men that's living with their parents that don't have cars, and the bottom line is because a lot of these young guys do not want to work. I'm not talking about somebody with a disability or somebody who just not able to work. I'm talking about these are young guys. I know somebody in my own family that's only 24 years old that's about to be homeless because he's burnt every bridge at every house he's been at simply because this brother do not want to work. I don't understand how a grown man don't even want to take care of his own self. Right? When I was that age, man, I wanted to have my own car. I wanted to have my own place because I wanted to go out and date. A lot of these young guys don't care. Some of them don't even have driver's license. They don't even have driver's license, and they're living with their parents, and they don't even have jobs. Somebody please tell me what's wrong with this picture. It's time to put your kids out. If you got kids that's living with you right now that's grown and ain't working, why do you have these kids living with you? It's time to put these kids out the house. Not trying to be mean to them, but you gotta make your kids grow up. If you watching this, if you're somebody living with your mom, or if this is a parent and you got your kid living with you and they grown, please put them kids out and make them grow up.
to be fair, like about the car situation, that is something weird with the newer generations. But like, for instance, I was fortunate enough to where my parents, well, actually my grandfather, bought me a $4,000 car. But, but, hold on. At 15, well, technically 14, I was working, but 15, I had to get my first ever job. That was mandatory. My parents will hook me up, but you gotta have a job. Gotta learn how to make that dollar, make it work, girl. That was a rule. I had to. There was no bullshit, and definitely not getting a fucking car if I don't have a job to pay for said car, even though they're buying me the car. But a lot of kids, their parents couldn't buy them a car. So nowadays, getting a car, it's pricey. So, but this is something to think about. One, yes, if you're 24 nowadays, living on your own or having a roommate, you fucking made it in today's climate, economically speaking, of course. You're fucking doing it big. All right. Now, to be fair on that, totally different ball game from when this guy grew up. Even when I grew up, I'm 35. I moved out, first place, 3 friends, 20 years old. 600 a month with everything included. A house with a yard and a garage. Awesome. That's unheard of nowadays. Unheard of. Okay. But where I'm getting at is there is a level of society that's always existed. And this is the I don't care, and this is where the parents do enable their kids. This is perfect. Me and my boy Taco used to work at this restaurant. Taco's my best friend. And Taco's like a very degenerate, not give a fuck kind of dude, right? But he had to make money. He had to figure it out. He had a beater. And one night he was dating this chick that worked there, and this chick got her brother there, her brother a job. And this guy was a full blown I don't want to work kind of loser, if you would say, which these people have always existed. And this isn't too long ago, maybe 5 years ago. And this guy lasted like a week and just quit. And he's a grown man. He's like 28 years old, 30 years old. So my friend Taco gave him a ride home and was like, "Hey man, why'd you quit? Like this job's easy, it's money." And he also is dating this chick, so he knows that he's got at this person's house. He's another brother who's even older who doesn't work, and the parents just let these guys do whatever they fucking want. Right? No money, nothing, but they have a place to live. So this is the trippiest part. He's driving him home, and the guy goes, "Hey, can you drop me off in the shopping plaza?" And Taco's like, I could just take you home. He goes, yeah. He goes, nah, but because I need to walk around the ashtrays. I'm going to go pick up cigarette butts. And coming from the life me and Taco lived, where we kind of lived a skateboarder kind of gnarly life, and Taco at one point was just like, no job for me. Now he's a totally different guy now, but he was even like, dude, do you believe this shit? This guy's walking around picking up cigarette butts, like, and then he would fill me in on the lifestyle that these people are living. It's kind of trippy to think about, but these people have always existed. This is nothing new, all right. And also in today's world, it's, it's fucking expensive. So if you're living at home, you're 24, 27 even, like, this doesn't really apply to you unless you are the cigarette butt picker-upper guy walking around who's just a bum who lives at home. That's the parents' fault for sure, 1,000%. My parents would never do 24, 27, living at home, not working, no car, no aspirations. No, they would never. This comment goes, people can't afford to. Let's not judge other men. It's hard out here. Yeah, I agree. That's why I said if you're 24 living on your own, yet alone without a roommate, you're fucking doing it, dude. You're the man. When you were 18, rent was $250 a month. Yeah. Even when I was 18, I'm not even this guy's age, even me. Even when I was 20, rent was like, it was pretty chilled. It was pretty easy. You could have a pretty shit job and make it. I've never heard Mexican, Chinese, or Arabs look down on living with their parents. Yeah, my neighbors are Middle Eastern. Super cool. I'm friends with all my neighbors. And they got the whole family living together. But they all work. They all have cars. They all hustle. It's a different grind. I don't think they would be cool if their 26-year-old was just living there doing nothing. I highly doubt it, to be honest. And the Mexicans, come on, dude. Come on. They're working at 12, bro. All right, maybe not 12, but you get my point. They're fucking working. That's the difference I think he's talking about here. Rent was $750, and y'all was okay, yeah, true. This economy is jacked up. Okay, because rent is $1,200 to $1,600, and yeah, like it's not about. I don't think this guy's talking about. Maybe he is just disconnected. Maybe he is. But like living at home at 27, 24, no job, no car, just kind of fuck it. That's the parents' fault right there. It's not 1947 no more. Yeah, a lot of people are just kind of, I think they're missing the message on what he's saying. I'm 39 years old, living in DFW. I pay my bills. When I was 19, I lived in Arlington, Texas, thinking my rent was $550 a month. Now rent is $1,500. It's only me living here. These bills are high as fuck. It was actually easier for him when he was younger. That's the funny part. Gen X was the last generation to want to be independent. The rest is because they didn't ask to be here. They feel entitled to resources. I'll leave the link to this guy down below, but yeah, there is a level of first of all, I fully get it. But if I have, let's put it in my shoes. Whenever I do have a kid, because it will probably happen, when they reach 20 years old, I'm not just going to push them out at 18. I'm actually going to tell them, look, you can go. Oh, you always come back. But I think it would be smarter for them to learn how to save money and stack up their cash. But if you think I'm just going to let my son, fully capable person, just live with me, 24 years old, and not work, that's on me. I did something wrong. And I can't tell you, that's a hard decision. Do you really just let your kid go homeless? Is that really the answer here? Eventually, long enough time goes by, if the parents don't have any money and they pass away, then yeah, he will end up being homeless. But I couldn't see myself kicking my kid out, but I don't know what the answer to that is. I think there is a bit of enabling there. But anyways, shout out to all the 24-year-olds who figured it out in today's climate. I'm proud of you. And even the 30-year-olds who have figured it out. I'm very proud of you. I get it. Anyways, solid talk. Unreal.